folks.
Give it up for the stars of The Flash. Woo!
Share chairs. There's not enough chairs.
I can stand.
We each got a cheat.
That's one lucky chair, folks. I gotta tell you.
I'm sorry, we didn't mean to shaft you. We didn't know, they didn't give us the full lineup.
Nobody tells you anything. It's all
Guys,
right.
Liam's
I
here.
can go.
Guys.
Liam is here. Give it up. Give it up.
Although, you know, you did kill my father, so I
None
don't
of that.
really know if
That's-
I'm excited about this.
I want to see the court documents. Seems fine. Do you miss him? Really?
Wow, that's
Cold, right?
Terrible. Pretty sure she does.
Welcome, guys. I think we do have a microphone out here somewhere for audience Q&A. Like to get the audience involved. I just found out here that Teddy here is a huge fan of
wow,
comic
that
book
was
men.
abrupt.
Yeah, I love comic book men. I want to be on comic book men.
You're done.
Yeah?
If we get another season.
Yeah, if you're right. Yeah, that's what we all say. You know, if we get one more.
My gift to you. I got this. Is it on?
Yes,
Is it on?
there
It's
you go.
working. Look at that.
Yes.
All right, no sharing.
I'll
Nice.
go out here and ask questions for you guys. All
I
right?
love it. I love it.
Folks, no biting.
No.
All right, we've had some bad
Some
experiences
biting.
in the past.
So you can all have a whole thing going on.
I do want to tell a quick story. I met Teddy.
Yeah.
I first met Teddy in the bathroom of a Carrabba's bathroom.
Haven't we all?
I was going to the bathroom and the guy at the urinal next to me was going and watching a hockey game at the same time on his phone.
That sounds like me. Yeah.
And I was like, wow, that's talented, and like, wow, he's using one hand too. And I was like, that says a lot about you.
So Ming Chen broke protocol and locked eyes with Teddy, so...
Can you blame me?
No, he's a handsome man, right, folks?
Oh boy.
I heard a couple of guys out there.
These problems.
And we do have one more question. A lot of the people here at the table worked with a guy that we know and love very much, Kevin Smith.
Yes,
Yeah.
Kevin Smith. Yes.
How was it? Was he demanding? Was he overbearing? Was he
high?
Was he high?
No comment.
He might have been high, I don't know. Well, I can just speak to the first episode. He's done another one since this season? Okay, the first episode, we had a scene together, and it was his first scene that he was going to get to shoot. And we were shooting it early just because of how the schedules lined up. So it was his first time with us. It was he was walking around the various sets. You know, clearly he was in awe to be there. A guy who really loves the show, and he couldn't believe that he was walking around there. And I think he just wanted to do it justice. I even asked him, I think I asked him like, you know, I don't know, is it hard not to put your own stamp on it, or do you want to? And he said, I don't want to do anything except what's already happening, because I'm terrified I'm going to mess it up. So this was a guy who really, really wanted to do well. And you could see that he was like a kid in a candy store, and that's it made it endearing. And I was a little nervous to work with Kevin Smith. It's Kevin Smith, but I was instantly, I don't know, at ease, because he's a kid like the rest of us. Just happy to be there.
That's nice. Kevin is first and foremost a fan, and next the director and a writer. So that's one of the things that I've always loved about him. So. That being said, do we have some questions from the audience?
I bet there's. Hey, one right here. Look at that.
Love that you're
Is it a
doing
good
this.
question? Like, is it a 7 out of 10? Is it a 9? Let's just see what happens. Let's just get excited.
Where's Cisco and Flash?
Working.
Probably asleep,
What was
if
the
I had to
question?
guess.
Yeah.
Where's Cisco?
Where's Cisco and/or Flash?
Oh, yeah, he's probably sleeping. We were supposed to shoot a scene last night, and it got canceled, so he got to get some rest. But yeah, he's not here. I'm sure he'll come to the next
You might
one.
never see me again.
Grant is actually
Hey,
in LA
thanks, sweetheart.
at
How are you?
EW's Pop Fest, and I assume Carlos is still in Vancouver.
Liam, we lost you.
I'm deep in this.
Oh, he's in this.
I'm deep now. All right, hey.
Hey, you're very pretty. So, Candace.
That's not a question.
I'm
Yes.
sorry. I have a question for Candace, because you didn't get to be in the crossover last year, and it was a tragic, awful catastrophe. So, I'm just kidding. But will you be in the crossover this year, and can you say anything about your role in it?
I am not in the crossovers that happen on the other shows as far as the DC TV universe go.
Oh.
But
Yeah.
yeah, well, Someday, maybe.
Yeah, not yet, not yet.
Not yet.
Cool, Greg,
but I'm very
right
much a part of the crossover that happens on The Flash, to answer your question. So it's good.
Woo.
People will like it. Don't worry.
When does that air?
The crossover? I
yeah.
don't. December?
First week in December.
I think it's
okay.
the first week in December.
Yeah.
Okay.
More questions?
I don't even know where to
So close. Look, I already found one. I'm sorry.
For Danielle, how do you feel about becoming a superhero now? Like being one with the powers?
Yeah.
Thanks. I'm super excited for this season, and I have to say Kevin came back for episode 7 this year, which I think is my favorite episode this season, so I'm excited for you guys to see it.
And may I just say, Liam, I'm noticing a pattern. You're only going after
No.
ladies.
As I was walking, I was thinking the same thing. That's why I pointed to this gentleman right here and went, "You got the next question." So don't judge me.
I don't.
Don't
Are
judge
you
me.
kidding? I'm in awe of you.
You're welcome.
Don't ruin Liam's flow,
How
dude.
cool, right? This is my chi, man.
All right.
All right. What do you got? You got a good question? Yeah.
So if you guys watch the show on TV after you film it, what surprises you most versus when you're filming versus when you see it on TV?
I'm going to throw that question to someone who watches the show after it's shot. I don't watch. I'm afraid to watch. One day I'll get to it, but I don't know. I have a hard time doing that sort of thing.
Yeah, I don't watch either. First of all, I don't have cable. Second of all, when I did have cable and I watched, I found it very hard to watch myself.
Because you're so good?
Who said that?
Right. Just assume if it's a loud, mysterious
You are
voice.
really
it's me.
good. You are really
Love that
good.
guy. Paid him so much money, but no. And the thing is, I found what we would shoot and what ends up on TV is very different with editing and music. It's different than the feeling I had on set. So I love what we do on set, and what is delivered to you guys is a very different product. Equally as great. It's just a different experience. So I try and hold on to the magic that happened on set. And
Yeah,
I
they
leave it
fixed
there.
everything I did. They just pretty much, I was like, wow, that looks really good. I'm so surprised.
I know that, like, you know, when I started on the show, I had only watched a few episodes, and I was shocked with like with the metahuman stuff. You know, like Sandman, let's say, during Patty's first episode, they were like, oh, there's gonna be like some swirling sand, and I'm like, okay, how high up is it gonna be? What's it gonna look like? How scared am I? And so I wanted to watch so I could understand tonally, but also to see the special effects in post versus on the day is insane. Like, I was looking at a Barney on stilts that turned into a shark man, but on the day I was like, this looks really ridiculous. What did I sign up for? So watching that part of the show is really, really cool, and something that I fell in love with even more.
I think Kevin told a story about something called a zoop, and it's how Barry like runs into a room real fast, and how he runs out, and they literally just stop the camera, and he just kind of walks in, and then it's all fixed in post. It's
And they
pretty
got,
cool.
a machine that like blows paper behind him whenever
Yeah.
he's
Oh, yeah,
like,
they
running.
blow
He
paper.
blows wind on us girls, and so our hair is just like this. Yeah.
And it's, you know, it's like a game of freeze. Like, you're a grown-up and you freeze for a minute. And I laughed because, I don't know if I can tell you the context of it, but this week Grant had to freeze. He was like, I don't like it. Welcome to my life.
Thank you.
I got a gentleman question for you
All
if you
right,
like.
make it good.
Hey, I got no control over the actual question. I got zero control over this.
Thank you, Leah. Hey ladies, Teddy.
Yeah.
What's
Hey, man. Hey, man.
What's up?
Yeah.
I have a question for the cast and one for Patty, Chantel. For the rest, if you had the opportunity to do a crossover for the show with the other DC shows or movies, if you had an opportunity, which shows would you want to be in, including you, Liam? And for Chantel, if you had the opportunity to get powers on the show, since which power would you want on the show?
It's good stuff.
I'm gonna
That's
think
like a
about that when you
22-part
guys go
question.
first. I want to
so-
cross over to iZombie.
Nice. I'd be Supergirl. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I'd probably be Supergirl. I think it makes the most sense for Iris being a journalist to go to Supergirl, so hopefully at some point that can happen. Yeah, I think you guys want that too, okay.
One second.
From their lips to God's ears, so.
Yeah,
As far as Patty having a superpower, I mean, she probably would have wanted to be able to read Barry's mind and find out things easier, and also would be better for her as a detective. I don't. I mean, there's so many fun. I mean, what if she could run even faster than the supposed fastest man alive and be the fastest woman alive?
There we go.
So maybe that, because I'm competitive.
Do you ever want to like have like a really bad superpower? Because you know, I got my superpowers in a plane crash in a storm, weather wizard, boom. What if you were like a baker or something, and you end up having
What's
these?
wrong with
like,
that?
That'd be cool. Wouldn't that be great?
You could produce croissants
Like
for
the
everybody.
best croissant, not just
You know?
good ones, like
Yeah.
Okay,
world-changing ones.
This is like a game of Where's Waldo. I
Where
have no
are
idea
you?
where
I
you
know.
are. Oh, there we go. There we go.
There he is.
Wait, Liam, you didn't answer the question. What show would you cross over to?
I did. I randomly yelled out Supergirl. That was me.
Oh,
Okay.
I
Anytime
thought
you
it was
hear an
someone-
Australian accent go, I do this. That's me. Okay. Just so we're clear, I'll like wave my hand and be like, hey, I'm talking.
Nice.
Oh, I love this. All right, I got another question.
ask away.
I don't have a question, obviously. Okay, I know the show. Hey, buddy.
Nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you. All right, what's your question, sir?
My question is for Candace.
Hi, I can't see you, but hi.
Hi. My name is Dustin. So Iris and Joe's relationship back on track since the Flashpoint changes.
Ooh, that sounds like some spoiler gear. Do
Yeah.
you want to ruin the show?
Say, what's the question? Say it again.
Is like your and Joe, your relationship with your dad back on track since Flashpoint?
Yeah, I don't think it's a spoiler if you're caught up with the show. I think we solved that fairly quickly, if you ask me. Episode 2, Joe and Iris are definitely back on track, and it's
Yes.
the Iris and Joe that we've loved for the last 2 seasons. So I don't think we have to worry about any more tension between those two. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm going to put on a more Australian accent. That'll make it more obvious. Like, g'day. Hi. It's Liam here. Got a question for you right at the back here. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I'm terrific. What's your question?
My question is for Danielle. We saw Caitlin starting to become Killer Frost at the end of the latest episode. Will she turn evil eventually? Do you think?
How can I answer this?
How indeed.
I think you've seen Caitlin. She's starting to go through some changes, and they're really challenging for her. And hopefully, it's going to be a good storyline this year as we see her start to deal with those changes. Maybe she'll tell her friends. Maybe she'll beat them up. You never know.
Thank
No,
you.
I was about to say that was going to get me booed by the whole crowd. You have more? You guys have stuff, or I can keep going. I'm good.
Liam, I love you. You're doing
I know,
our job
you're-
for
yeah,
us.
Is that
it's
right?
amazing.
I'm just enjoying sitting back, watching
Take
you
it
guys
easy, right?
entertain this crowd. It's
You got
amazing.
a good job. You
No,
did
we
a good
don't-
job here.
we don't have
Mighty
full-
fine moderating, may I say?
Thanks.
What's your question, sir? What's your name?
Vaughn.
What's your question?
Okay. My question is just for the whole team up there. I was
Question for Teddy.
for everyone up there, I guess. Which team do you guys think is better, Team Arrow or the Flash?
Come on.
That's a funny question, man.
I mean, like the latest episodes of Arrow, he's got a new team, and we might get
Well,
some
they're
more.
new.
awesome-
They got to work out some of their kinks. We got this. Team Flash is pretty great, I
Pretty
think.
correct.
Yeah, come on.
I
Team
mean, I
Flash
want to
is-
kill him, but I'm on Team Flash
Team
still.
Flash is better. Team Flash is smarter. Team Flash is better looking.
See, you get it. You get it.
Set match.
Boom.
That's a paid ad.
Yeah.
And that's coming from a comic book, man, so.
Yeah.
He knows.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
he's
got high
solid. He's
standards.
solid on this. Yes, ma'am. Have you got a question? She's jumping up excitedly, just to give you the full picture back there if you can't see her. For a cute hat.
Thank you. First of all, I've been watching since season 1. Love you guys very much.
Thank you.
Killer Frost, can't wait. Awesome. Episode 7. My question's for Teddy. How was it for you to be friends with Team Flash and then totally betray them at the end?
Spoiler alert.
That's a really
From season, 2.
Or maybe not. Whatever happens.
No, that's a good question. It was tough because the first half of last season I was like shoulder to shoulder, like I was on the same side of the desk you know, that everyone else was. We were solving the same problems together, looking at the same screens. And then I remember there was the first episode that Zoom was in the Cortex and standing across the room from everybody. And it was hard on me personally because I remember looking at everyone thinking, God, I really, really, really like all of these people. And I've grown to really like them. And so when I was Jay, it was easy to be on Team Star Labs. And now I'm standing across from them, and it was challenging. And there was in that scene I smirk a lot, and it's like me trying to deal with my nerves of how uncomfortable I was. And Tom Cavanaugh made up that great line, something like, yeah, like, oh, I'm gonna punch that smirk right off your face, something like that. I'll wipe that smirk right off your face. And it was just because I don't know, I was having such a difficult time. Good question. I miss all of my Flash friends. I love them dearly, and I didn't answer this crossover question, but I'll do whatever will get me back to Vancouver to spend any time with these guys. Yeah.
I agree with that. Yeah, but I tell you what, being a bad guy, it's pretty great. I mean, yeah, you get to hang out with the cool kids less.
Right.
But, you know, but it's pretty cool.
Very cool. No, I agree. There's more to do. There's more meat on the bone.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, and you know, we get to hang out when they call cut. It's like everything goes back to normal. But I don't know. Yeah.
Really, does it? Because they still don't hang out with me. I don't know
with
why.
You?
It's like, they still, you know, I don't know. They say it's a character choice thing. I don't know.
Right.
Do you have a question here, sir? Yeah. All right. We got this very lovely gentleman here. What's your question?
What do you think of the Justice League movie Flash?
Oh, scandal.
Haven't seen
Really? You went there? You had to go there.
He went there.
All right.